Today is all about the new Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Pour Homme. More specifically, we're going to be going over 5 things that you really should know about this new release. And I want you to go into this one completely blind and not really having an idea of what this one is all about. So I've had some time to test it and I've had some time to gather my thoughts. And while this isn't going to be like a full review type of video, it's just going to be a video to help potentially guide you either towards or away from this new scent. I know this one has already picked up a little bit of hype already, being that, well, it is a new scent from JPG, and it's also not a flanker from the original Le Male, which there has been a ton of by this point. And I don't think that's going to be stopping anytime soon. I mean, we just had one, what was it, last year? Le Male Le Parfum. Yeah, they're going hard, but again, we have a new scent from them, and that's always exciting to see, and it doesn't happen very often, at least new in terms of not being a flanker. And I have to admit, being that this was like a whole new line here from the brand, I was pretty excited to try this one, and I do think it's pretty solid. And when I saw that this one was announced, I was very excited because it was, something new, something that was outside the Le Male line. One thing that's important to note here is that this one is an eau de toilette. So immediately my mind goes to they're setting up to have a bunch of flankers off of this one. Perhaps an EDP, perhaps a pure parfum, and a few other flankers even more so than that. So let's go ahead and jump right into this one. First thing you need to know about the new Scandal Pour Homme is that it's another sweet fragrance. So for the guys out there who aren't a fan of sweeter men's scents, you're going to want to just look right on past this one and keep going because you're not going to like it. This one's very sweet. It has notes like caramel and tonka bean, which make up the bulk of the scent, and well, it shows. It is a sweet fragrance all the way through from opening to dry down. You get a bit of orange, you get a bit of clary sage, and there's a bit of a counterbalance there, but still primarily sweet. That is the new trend after all. Sweet men's fragrances, that's just kind of what we've been working towards here, and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. So a lot of people have kind of jumped on board with this and have started to appreciate it. But if you're still not into that, well, that's not a big deal at all. You just won't really like this one. I see both sides to this, and for me, it just depends on the scent itself. There are some sweeter fragrances which are just maybe too over the top or just aren't my style, and I'm not a fan. And there are some that I really, really like. I think it can just depend on the person. It can depend on the fragrance. So this may be one where, depending on your preferences, you may want to try it or you may not want to. Again, this one is set up as an eau de toilette. Perhaps later on down the line, they'll release an EDP or a parfum, and perhaps maybe they can add in some other supporting notes to balance out the sweetness a little bit more. It would be cool to see like a leather or perhaps an oud and a boozy touch as well kind of added to this, to where it'll still be a sweeter winter scent, but it'll be less bubblegummy and overly sweet and just have a bit more balance. It would be cool to see that at some point. Next thing you should know about Scandal Pour Homme, and this one will make a lot of people happy, and that is that it's a strong performer. I've found that it really does do great on my skin. And also, if you look at some of the reviews on this one, I'm not the only one that gets the same type of performance here. Again, it's an eau de toilette, but it has really strong performance in terms of projection and longevity. On my skin, I get every bit of 8-9 plus hours, and in terms of projection, it is well outside of a skin scent or just a personal bubble type of scent. It'll go on beyond that to where it would be good for a situation like a party, a club, that sort of thing, where you want to really project out and get noticed. It'll work great for that. So for a lot of you guys, that'll be great. But if you're someone who's a bit more reserved and you don't want a scent that is too loud and obnoxious, that's something you'll want to consider. If you get this one, you'll want to go very small on your sprays, very low number of sprays. But if you want that really good projection out of this one, just kind of do your normal spray routine, 3-4 sprays, you're going to get great projection and, again, good longevity. That's always great to see from a new fragrance. Now, it's not to say that 3-4 years down the line, this may be reformulated and watered down. So if you're watching this in the future, yeah, it may not be as strong by then, but here in 2021, the year this was launched, It's a strong scent, and that's always great. Who knows, you could buy 3 or 4 bottles of this right now and have a nice vintage stash ready to go for this one. So when the time comes that it gets reformulated, you got your backup bottles that you can sell for 3 times the price on eBay. Third thing you should know about Scandal Pour Homme is it has great mass appeal. It's a bubblegummy sweet fragrance, and again, following the trend, these things just work. There's something about these sweeter types of scents that do well in terms of compliments and mass appeal. I don't really know why that is, but that's just how it works. It's almost like they're so head-turning and so strong that women just seem to like that aspect of them, and for that, these types of scents do get really good compliments. So if you're a compliment bro and that's primarily what you're after, look no further. This one's going to get the job done for you. Your success rate will be really high. Of course, like with anything, you run the potential risk, I guess, of someone not liking it. But I would say, 90% of women that you come across are going to really like how this smells. And that's a pretty good success rate. So if you want mass appeal and compliments, this one's going to do it for you. Fourth thing you should know about this one is it's great for cooler weather. When this came out, it was released and become available this summer, so I haven't had a chance to test it in the cooler weather yet, but obviously being that it is a sweeter scent, it's going to be suited for fall and winter time and early spring as well. This is just not the time of year for this one. Summertime, it's just too hot out and this is too sweet. But as soon as fall rolls around, I'm going to be wearing it a lot outside. And I'm excited to see how it behaves and reacts to the cooler weather. I know that the cooler weather is really going to help to tame this one down and smooth it out, and that will be beneficial. Because again, that sweetness in here may be a bit too strong for some, but if you get some cooler weather on it, it'll help to dial it back. I could see this one being very sexy and very playful in the cooler weather. After all, that is the time of year where you get kind of snuggly, you start dressing up a bit more, layering up, and I can see this one working really well for that and smelling great. And last thing you should know about the new Scandal Pour Homme is it's going to be a really nice close encounter scent. So while I said it can work great for parties, clubs, that sort of thing because of its louder performance and just overall sweetness, I also see this one being good for close encounters. And again, it all comes down to limiting your sprays. If you're going to a club, if you're going to a party in a situation where you want to be known, right? You want to be noticed. Up your sprays, 3, 4, 5 sprays, you're going to be set. If you're in a situation where you're closer to someone, a bit more intimate, 1, 2 sprays is all you need. You can even do a spray like underneath your shirt or something just to kind of muffle it a little bit, and you're going to be set. It does have that sweetness, and there's a bit of an alluring, sexy, ever so slightly mysterious type of feeling about this one, while it also does maintain a playful attitude. So it's a really nice balance here, and I think that makes it perfect for not only a louder situation, but also kind of a close encounter date scenario as well. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. That is 5 things you should know about the new Scandal Pour Homme by Jean Paul Gaultier. From what I've seen so far, it's not quite available in the United States yet. If I do find a link for it or something, I will put it down below, but I got mine from overseas and I haven't seen it pop up yet, but I can imagine within the next month or so it should be available, and then a couple months after that it should be available at discounters. So it might actually work out to where by the time you can really get your hands on this one, it will be fall and winter time, which will be perfect. Don't rush into it. Don't pay full retail right out of the gate from overseas to get it right now. Again, it's not really the time of year for it anyway. Just be patient. Let it come out, and by then you'll be able to pick it up hopefully at a bit of a discount, and it'll be perfect time, fall, nice cool weather, and you'll be set. Not making this video to hype you up to, go track a bottle down. I'm just kind of letting you know in advance some things about this one, so that way you can kind of decide whether it's something that you do or don't want to check out. I do want to hear from you. Let me know down below, are you excited to try this one? And if you have tried this one, what do you think? That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.